request you to start presenting the session. After that, we will we will hand over the session to our colleague Nikita, who is going to take us through the financials, which is there. You can keep sharing your questions on the Q&A box. We will be taking your questions as soon as the presentation is over. But to start off with, I would at least request all of you who have joined this call to keep sharing which city you have joined in from and what is your favorite morning breakfast which you basically would like to have. So let's start the session, Paul. I am handing over the platform to you for taking this side.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for having us. I'd like to start by saying we're very excited to have a great partnership with Fran Global. Their continued success across the world is one of the reasons why we joined them, and we feel like you're the right partners for us to expand into other parts of the world, and especially in India. So thank you very much. So a brief about the Pantry. In 2016, we saw ourselves in the Irish market that there was a gap in the shopping centre culture. There was plenty of smaller 500-600 square feet individual offerings, such as sandwiches, such as individual coffee, but nothing really was there that would allow us to, as a customer, to be able to go in and get an overall concept that would give us breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the same. Sorry, my dog is starting to. I'll just let him out 1 second.
So basically, when they started off in 2016, there were yeah, Paul, you can start.
It's very early here in Ireland. Actually, it's 6:30 in the morning, so I apologize. So what we have is in Ireland, as I was saying, we found that there was a gap in the market for just that general customer to walk into a shopping centre and to allow them to experience an overall menu that if 2 or 3 in a couple were together, that they could pick something different. There was plenty of individual outlets, but nothing overall. So what we came up with the Pantry. That gave us a wide range of foods. What we wanted to do is to get the families in, get the individuals in, and to give them something freshly made, which is the most important thing to us, freshly made breakfast, lunch, and dinner handed to them. And we also developed very early a strong concept for our own coffee, which we roast here in Ireland. And we wanted just an overall experience that you might see in the evenings, but during the day. What happened from that in 2016, we were very successful when we opened in Cork in Ireland. And then we developed the brand over the next couple of years. In 2020, then we had planned to start franchising later on, but COVID happened. So what happened from that is a lot of places ended up shutting down, like across the world. So what we did was we opened a couple of our own individual stores back around Cork, where we originally started. And we soon found that it was very, very popular. We went from 1 store to 5 stores in the first 5 years, all company owned. And we started actually franchising during COVID, just at the tail end of it. COVID actually brought a lot of opportunity. If you were able to open, you were very successful because you had to develop the brand to allow people just to come in and come out. So we weren't able to do our full brand, but we changed because of COVID. We started franchising then in 2021, and since then we've opened 14 stores. So we're a total of 14 stores with a plan in the next 6 months with 5 more signed up. We've grown internally as well. So multiple franchisees have actually developed their second store within 18 months of the network. And that's been our key, is getting the right partner and being able to develop with them. So we found that the Irish market had a need for something like ourselves. Our brand itself is actually the look and the feel about the store inside is actually come from our mother's house. All the colors, the plates, the all the different ideas is actually based around my mother's house. So it's a nice little story. She takes all the credit for it as well, which is great. So we try to develop it as with the trends as well. So we follow the market from all our drinks menu to our foods. We hop on to what's popular, and we're able to take it off if it's not, because we make everything fresh in store. So we're not dedicated to one thing. So yeah, we're finding a lot of success in Ireland. Our franchisees are finding a lot of success because we're not pinholing ourselves just to coffee or just to food. We're actually trying to combine both with a chef experience in the kitchen and a good barista out the front. Our menus are very simple, but they're all freshly made. So we're finding a lot of success in both the high street and the shopping centre model.
I think we can move to the next slide, Shritama.
That's great. Yeah, as you can see, the look of the slides there, that is one of our newer stores in Rathmines in Dublin. It's about 1,500 to 1,600 square feet. We're very visual with our colors, so we try to pinhole all the stores look exactly the same from an internal point of view. We're nice, light and bright. We're very simple signage, but we're a modern brand with an older feel inside. We're very visual, as you can see from the menus, and we try to make it as comfortable as possible with the space that we have. As you can see, this is our second store. This is one of our other bigger stores in Dublin as well. So that is about 1,800 square feet. So between 1,500 and 1,800 square feet is the sweet spot for ourselves. We can fit around 50 to 60 seats internal, and in that store particular, we have an extra 60 seats outside. So around 100 seats in that store. So that works very well in the shopping centre model. So one of the strengths that we definitely feel like we have at the moment is we're very heavy on marketing. So we work a lot with our brand, from videos to Instagram to Facebook to pictures. We try to visualize the concept of the food before it goes in. So we work heavily with Mark, especially works on the cost of sales, which we'll speak about in some time. But to be able to create something and then visualize it and then produce it across the 14 stores at the moment is something that we work very well on. And we think we can actually do that across any country as well, because we have the format and it works for us at the moment in Ireland. Yeah, this is example of more branding. We're very heavily branded in store, from our t-shirts to our jackets to internal signage to our coffee cups. Everything follows a detailed plan that we do. For instance, we've just released our new winter menu for our drinks, which we introduced matcha. We have now new pistachio seems to be very popular at the moment, and acai. So we came up with a concept for each of these, and we internally then display them with from signage on our cups and on our color scheme. So we actually have 3 different colors that we stick with, which are the Pantry colors, which is the purple, the pink, and a light blue, and sometimes a yellow for the summer. So that runs through all the stores. That's on your t-shirts, that's on your cups, that's on the bag, that's right across our website. This is an example of our Pantry coffee cup. And again, it's just a nice message which is in store about how we roast it, and just what kind of flavor you expect when you taste our coffee. So it seems to be very popular at the moment. Again, another example would be this is actually our summer menu, which we just finished. So in the summer, we focus on ice drinks, which is huge in the cafe culture. And then in the winter, we go to more hot chocolates, lattes, cappuccinos. We do specials as well. And there again, for marketing right across Instagram, Facebook, internal, which as well, they'll all match each other. So this is our One thing we're actually known for right across Ireland at the moment, we feel, is our pancakes. We make obviously our own pancakes, and we top them with the likes of Nutella, Kinder Bueno, make it all the good sauces on top, and we finish it off with strawberries, blueberries, bacon, maple syrup. It seems to be most ever popular. Ireland really like your pancakes. I suppose that's developed from an American theme for ourselves as well. It works for ourselves, and we'll sell pancakes at 9 o'clock in the morning and at 5 o'clock in the evening. It's an example of one of our newest franchisees, Shubham. He's actually from India as well. He's actually opened his second store yesterday. Bianca and Shubham, a lovely couple, hardworking people. They really get the brand, and we're very proud to work with them. They opened their second store yesterday, so they've gone along the model very quickly, but at the same time, they've shown the effort. They understand the financials very well. So they're onto their second store now within just at the tail end of, I think, about 14 months since, or between 14 and 18 months since they started with ourselves. And hopefully they're looking for their third one within the next year as well. So a lot of people ask us about franchising. As you can see, the market at the moment in Ireland is, like across the board, is tough. It's tough out there at the moment. But what we're offering, we feel, is a unique compared to other franchisees. We're starting from the start with these people, so we're offering them proud to walk into your store, make the food fresh, serve your customer in a manner that they expect, and be proud to come into your store. Everything we make is fresh in store. We have our own coffee. It's a nice brand for people. The customers seem to like it. It's a family feel once you come in, but most our demographics are anywhere between our highest demographics is between 30 and 45. But we find that a lot of younger people like it, especially like our drinks as well, and the pancakes, which is a huge hit for ourselves. So we're finding a lot of success in the high street and in the shopping centres, and our franchise network are doing well from us. So I think I'll pass over to yourselves now for the available locations, guys, if you'd like to speak about that.
Yes, thank you, Paul. Thank you for sharing a detail uh, about your brand. Would you like to continue the presentation, or would you like us to take it ahead along with the financials?
Yeah, if you want to go through the financials, and I can answer any other questions after that if you like.
Sure. Thank you for giving a brief detail about the brand. It's a great uh, eye-catching brand, which I can see from the photographs, which you have attached in the presentation. It's very catchy. It's very Insta Cafe, which we say right now, which
Right.
is traditionally the most uh, important USP of your brand, which I can see it the way you have put in the decor, the colors, the entire furnitures and fittings and fixtures you have used. It stands out
Well,
from a normal cafe,
yeah,
which
we
is
try
there.
that. We try to create something, but as I said, the story comes from my mom's house. Uh, she had all those colors in her house, so we grew up looking at those colors. And as she changed over time, we actually didn't realize as we were developing the brand. It's a family-owned business, so we're all involved. And uh, as we were developing the brand, the color scheme just came from my mother's house. The wallpaper came from my mother's house. So it's a nice story. But the franchisee network actually has helped us develop the brand. Each location, while all looking the same because of the different sizes. So the franchisees, most of their ideas have come in the brand as well. So yeah, look, we're trying to give that family feel in store, keep it simple. We don't we're not spending huge money, so we're trying to keep the money as also in the into the restaurant. But yeah, look, we're trying to keep it light and bright, make it the customer feel comfortable as much as possible.
Great, Paul. We have some questions, Paul. Would you like to take it now, or we can do it after
Yeah,
the financial?
absolutely.
So we have some questions in which we have Mr. Abhilash Mitapalli, who has asked that if your entire setup is around 15 to 1800 square feet, what is the kitchen size you'd recommend in that total area?
Yeah, so what we do is we try to, out of 15 to 1600 square feet, we keep their kitchens tight. We do a two-step method. So our kitchen space for our fresh cooking, based on our design, is only about 400, 500 square feet. We keep everything incredibly tight. We do the two-step method. So if there's only two chefs or two cooks in the kitchen, they're not looking for stuff. So we keep it very tight. We then also, for the front of house, we give about 200 square feet. So we depend on the size of the unit, but what we try to do is leave as much for the customer as possible. So it's about, total space would be probably about 800 square feet with the kitchen back included, if it's shell and core, of course. And then we try to leave 800 square feet. Most of our restaurants are between 1,500 to, some of our bigger restaurants are 3,000, 3,500 square feet. And we can fit 100 seats to 80 to 100 seats in there. And we can make the kitchen a bit bigger. But a kitchen space is anywhere between 400 and 600 square feet. We don't need much bigger than that. So we keep it all very tight, so that there's not so the chef doesn't have to, or the cook doesn't have to look for too much stuff. So yeah, it's all thought about and it's all designed through CAD, and yeah, that's the most important.
Traditionally, it is 1/3 of the total square feet area, which you're
Roughly,
planning for the roughly, and it's
yeah,
on the same lines. Yeah,
absolutely. Depending on the unit and the ventilation, of course, dictates most of the size of the kitchen, and where the ventilation has to go for most of these restaurants. But yeah, about a third, just over a third, we would sacrifice then for the kitchen and the back, and then the front of house. So it's yeah, it's about 40%, about 35% of the store would be for the front of house and the kitchen. Now, of
great.
course, that's in our larger model. We also have an express model for the pantry, which goes very well as well. So, and that's just the front of house. So if anyone wants to ask questions about that, I can speak a bit more. And that's all our baking and our coffee. And that's a smaller unit. And that's about 600 to 800 square feet. And that's a smaller shopping center model. But we only work with our coffee and baking. Similar to such, it's more of a branding as well, similar to what you kind of see on the market at the moment. But our full size is between 1,500 upwards.
Great. There is
Yeah.
one more question, which is from Paul John. So Paul basically is looking forward to know what is the USP of the pantry. So I think as we started, Paul, the USP of the brand is basically it is the home cooked food and the quality service from where this brand has actually nurtured, cultured, and developed itself. And definitely, I would like to add on, after looking into the photograph, that it is the environment and the atmosphere which they're providing, which is very unique and very different. It does not look like a normal coffee shop which is there in India, it's a very insta-driven coffee that you would like to go in, take some pictures out there, have some have some entertainment out there. That's how this cafe looks like.
Yeah, like basically depending on the environment that we set up in. But look, what we are is we're a daytime restaurant. We're not just a coffee shop. What we're
Correct.
trying to do is do coffee and a restaurant combined. And by the way, we're keeping this quick. So for our daytime, like no one wants to wait more than 15 to 20 minutes. So with fresh food, the way we design the menu is all developed internally then. So we're able to produce home cooked food within 10 to 15 minutes for the customer. So, and we're trying to promote our internal drinks. We're not just serving a cappuccino and a sandwich. What we're trying to do is combine both of them to high grade standards during the day for someone, and for families and for individuals, that they can sit down, relax. Most people only have 30 minutes to 1 hour break during the day.
Right.
So we have to try to fulfill that and make an environment for them. But we do very well amongst families, kids. We have waffle stations. We try to make it as fun in store as possible. The brand, colors, the scheme inside dictates that as well. So all our staff wear the same colors. We all mix it around with the cups, the cup and the bag, and everything matches. So yeah, what we're trying to do is combine an individual coffee store, an individual restaurant. We've combined it together under the pantry. And yeah, we're doing very well so far from it anyway, and we're excited to enter new markets, and yeah, just ready to go.
Great. There is one more question which says that you the cafe, the coffee which you are serving in India, if you're looking out, if somebody is looking out for an opportunity to open and uh, uh, promote the brand, so we will be having the materials from the Indian market only, right, Paul? Or you'd
Yeah.
like some
No,
material? Yeah.
I think with the Indian market, we have to, what we've done even our research and the way we're starting to develop the supply chain now in India, we have to we have to we are starting already a taste and test. So we have to develop a local coffee that will be introduced into the pantry in India. So every region, every part of the world has different tastes. You go to Dubai, you go to America, you go to India, they all have different tastes, different flavors, different strengths. So we have started that process. The menu will be dictated by the market as well. So while something's very popular in Ireland doesn't mean it's popular in America, doesn't mean it's popular in India. So we've started that process. So it will all be locally resourced and based on the trends that are in India at the moment.
Thank you.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Paul. So I would like now Nikita to take over the platform so that she can share the
Yeah, perfect.
financials, because there are the rest of the questions are all covered up
Financials.
in the financials, which is there.
Yep.
Sure. Thank you so much, Paul. I think that was a great presentation around the brand. And largely, I think a few of our partners do have a question in terms of how do we understand bringing this brand to India. So I think I like to add a few things here because the pantry, since we have been working associated with this brand, we did do understand that it's an all-day dining concept. It's not only restricted to coffee, largely because right now being present in UK, Ireland, they have this British cuisine, which kind of your British classics, which have been brought into some kind of a modern twist. Now, why we want the brand to enter into Indian market is because right now there is a gap when we say for an all dining restaurants we do not have much of them, and I think this is the very good moment for for the brands like the Pantry who are into your premium casual dining model to come into Indian markets, because right now either we have these high end fine dinings or we have these affordable fast casual brands. And largely I think the disposable income in India today, be it for middle and upper classes, there is a rising demand for having these experiential dining concepts or maybe the new concepts. And I think even if we say for the metro cities like Delhi, Mumbai, or Bangalore, these are the concepts which will be highly, I think, acknowledged by people. And I think as Paul has said that we would be considering the menu basis what becomes more of the demand in India, because the speciality of the brand is the local sourcing of products, and I think then making these homemade recipes. So I think we'll also source these into Indian markets, what becomes more prominent demand in India, and I think basis that the menus would also be gone, because the concept of brunch and all day dining, I think it's now becoming a popular concept, and I think the demand into the urban center, shopping malls, or maybe business hubs. So I think that is what we would also want to follow in India. And largely, I think now because all our partner would want to understand how do we want to bring the brand to Indian market. So right now we are looking for these area developers, and between North India, Western and Southern region, we do see a potential of 20 stores individually into each market for the pantry. And for the East India, I think we are looking for 10 units as a partner. If somebody want to take the master franchisee for maybe north, west, or southern markets in India, I think the master fee that they'll be paying to the brand for 20 unit rollout would be close to 50 lakh rupees. And when we talk about the East Indian market, I think for 10 units they'll be paying a master fee of 35 lakh rupees. If we talk about the kind of rollout that we're looking for, we encourage partners who at least should open one of their own center, and largely 18 to 19 units is what they sub franchise. If they'll be paying 50 lakh rupees to the brand, additionally 65 lakh rupees is what could be seen as a cost that they incur for the direct store that they open for themselves. So roughly around 1 to 1.2 CR of an investment is what a partner would make. When we talk about the franchisee fee share, so the franchisee fee share would be done in a 60-40 ratio, where 60% of the franchise fee is kept with the area developer and 40% is given to the brand. When we talk about royalty, so the royalty that you will charge from the sub-franchisee units, it basically would flow as 50% shared by the brand and 50% by the area developer. And after investing close to 1.5, 1.15 CR into the business, ideally between 16 to 18 months is what you'll see as the payback on your investment. And the agreement period that will be followed with the brand will be a 5 plus 5 year agreement contract. If I'll talk you with you about how do we project a store performing, so as Paul's advised that 1500 to 2000 square feet is an ideal area that we are looking for the partner, where ideally around 400 to 500 square feet goes into your kitchen and front house, and additionally 800 or plus would go into your dining or a service area. And that service area could easily have a capacity of close to 75 covers, where I think the franchise fee that you pay to the brand will be 20 lakh rupees. And in terms of your front of house or your interiors, the investment could be close to 25 lakhs. The kitchen setup, and the kitchen setup would be based on how the brand proposes, the kind of equipments and everything. The list will be shared by the brand. Though I think the equipments will be sourced locally sourced, but I think the vendors will be finalized by the brand as per the customization. So close to 30 to 35 lakh rupees is something you will invest into this kitchen setup. Additionally, would be your expenses in your licenses, your agreements, permits, between another 1 to 1.5 lakh. And initially, you'll have to boost in terms of marketings and promotion. So you'll see close to 5 lakh rupees going there. So 20 lakh into the franchise fee, 65 lakhs is what you invest into the setup of the project. So close to 85 lakh rupees becomes the investment that a partner makes. In terms of your APC, I think even if we understand the Indian markets, your APC weekdays could be close to 500 to 550 rupees, and for your weekends, it could be close to 600 rupees, where an average per day sale overall in a month is what you will see close to 90,000 to 1 lakh rupees, with a monthly revenue of close to 30 lakh rupees. The conservative approach is what we have followed here in India, where we see the other premium casual brands. I think they do higher revenues as well, but for the sake of the franchisee returns, we have considered it to be conservative for our approach. So close to 3.5 CR of a revenue is what we do understand that on a partner can easily produce from the business. Now to run you through the expenses, so royalty 8% is what a unit franchisee is going to pay to the brand. The employee cost could be somewhere close to 10 to 11% of your business. The food cost additionally could be 30 to 33% basis what kind of produce is being used. And the packaging cost could be another 1 to 2% of your revenues. Then could be your utilities. I think the rental cost we have considered to be at a higher end because we want to place our brand into metro tier 1 cities, and also into the shopping malls. And as we do understand, the occupancy cost becomes higher there. Then the other expenses could be your repair, maintenances, your miscellaneous, and additionally 2% of your revenue is what we urge the unit partner to reinvest into marketing activities basis the guidelines of the brand. So on an revenue of 3.5 CR, ideally 40 lakh rupees is what you can easily earn on. With your annualized ROI of close to 85%, and the investment that you make of around 85 lakh rupees, the payback on this investment could be achieved in a period of 2 years or lesser. So this is what we propose for the model. Any partner who would like to have a detailed conversation, I think the Fran Global team is here, and we can also coordinate you with the brand and have a discussion on the same.
Thank you, Nikita. Thank you for sharing the details on the presentation. And we have a lot of queries which are coming up. So I will slowly start taking one by one so that we have a query from Mr. Vinod, who is looking forward, and he has asked that what is the, sorry, just missed his question. One minute. Okay. So one question has come in that what will we be how will we be assisting in the supports and the staff and the entire thing. So just to give a clarity to all of you that as this is a master brand, the entire support starting from looking out for a proper location, getting your entire vendor management streamlined, getting your entire team trained, getting your interiors set up, executed, getting your entire day-to-day operations process trained, set, ready to operate is going to be supported from the brand global team. There has also been some questions in regarding to the staffing, which is going to be required for the operations. So, Paul, if you can just give a brief about the staffing, which you generally keep as a standard staffing for the 15 to 1800 square feet area.
Yeah, so it depends on the model that whichever model that the person wants to go with. So we obviously have the full size pantry, which would be uh, cooks slash chefs, front of house, and then let's say cleaning up kitchen porters, we call them in Ireland. So roughly any traditional restaurant can be anywhere between, for the full size, would be for 1500 to 1800 square feet, about 5 people to 6 people. So you're per day, depending on your turnover. But we would essentially have 2 in the kitchen, 2 out front, and 2 floating around. So a team of possibly 10 to cover the 7 days. In the Pantry Express, which is 400 to 600, that is only for front of house, and that deals with our coffee, our specials, some small sandwiches, and all our internal baking. We make all our baking as well. So that's a smaller version. It's called the Pantry Express. And you would see it dotted around traditionally in shopping centers and other brands. And that is a 2-person to 3-person per day. And so a team of 7 to 8 people. Depending on which model you want to go for. We don't have big teams in any of our restaurants. Because we make everything fresh in store, and we serve it to the customer. It's not a hard concept to follow. You need good team members, and you need people who are passionate, especially about food and coffee. But once you have the right team, you can keep it tight, and it's a nice environment to work in.
Thank you, Paul.
No problem.
There is also another question which says that how is the brand looking forward to India? Because generally in India, the taste and the flavors are a bit different. So, will there be an opportunity for some customization in the menu which is currently being offered?
Yeah, so at the moment, first of all, our menu is dictated by each of the cultures where we're open, and we're in Ireland at the moment. We know we're Irish ourselves, so we know the market. We have 5 stores coming up ourselves now, and every time we open a store, we learn something new about the brand as well. We develop the brand based on the culture at the moment. So, for instance, acai is very popular in Ireland, so that came on our menu for this summer. It was a huge success for us. We go with we go with the trends on the market. So myself and Mark are actually coming to India at the end of this month. We're working with yourselves at the franchise show, but we are actually staying on to do testing and to meet some suppliers to try to strengthen our brand over there with our suppliers. So the market's going to dictate the menu. If something is popular, we'll add it. If it's not popular and we don't feel like it's right for our brand, we don't put it on. And it's all based on costings as well. The cost of sale is very important. Without cost of sale, the business model doesn't work. So because we can make it fresh, I know on the financials it had around a 30%. We feel like that is the worst it would be. So we could make it better because we're making it fresh. So we're going, myself and Mark are in India at the end of this month for some time, and we're doing research on the market and what the trends are, and we're trying to develop the supply chain as we speak.
Thank you.
But we are we are very adaptable. Because the brand itself, we change the menu 3 times a year at the moment, and the core of it stays the same, the biggest selling ones, but we dot in different new things. So yeah, we base everything on up-to-date cost of sales with suppliers, the market trends. So we can dictate the menu based on the trends right now. We don't wait for it. So yeah, that's why our marketing is very important. Our internal signage with our TVs, So we're able to change the menu going forward as much or as little as we want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have taken most of the questions. If anyone has any more details or any more in detail discussion you would like to have, we have shared our mobile number and our email IDs. You can be in touch with us. We'd like to get on a 101 call with you to discuss more in details about the brand. We would also like to give you a better understanding about the financials and the commercials and the ROIs if you are interested in the brand. We will be looking forward for connecting with you soon as this webinar is over. My team will get in touch with each and every individual who is there on this call right now, and we will be setting up virtual calls along with our team so that we can give you more better detailed understanding about the brand. Do not mind to please reach out to us for any queries or any details which is pertaining to the brand. The brand, as Paul and Mark said, that they will be present on on the 29th and the 30th November at the Franchise India show, which is in the Geo World Convention Center in Mumbai. So please connect with us for any prior pre-booked meetings with them, and we would love you also to be there along so that you can meet the brand, you can understand more about it. And obviously, we are looking for area developers. We are looking for investors who are interested for franchising this brand, multi-unit deals, and also if anybody is ready to try the brand to start as a single unit opportunity, please don't hesitate to reach us. We will definitely be open to discuss each and every opportunity which is coming on our way. So I would hand over the platform back to Bharat from where we started. So Bharat, you can take it ahead and close the
Right.
session.
Thanks so much, Suraj, and thanks so much, Paul, for the detailed conversation and the brand presentation. We really appreciate you for being available for this webinar. We would also like to appreciate Nikita for explaining the financials. And of course, I mean, these webinars are done for you, for the investors, right? Because so that you can take an informed decision, right? Because this is really important to have very good, fair information about the brand and the business opportunity. So let's call it a day now. Tomorrow we will again come up with a new brand and the business opportunity, and we will learn more about the brand, right? So that's it for today. Thanks so much, Paul and Swaraj, for being available. And
thank you, Paul. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Bharat.
Right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, I have shared the contact details in the chat box. You can get in touch with us on that number. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining.